All right, here we go. Back again. Fucking hate intros as I do. So shit, eh? To the guest that I'm looking at right now. And to the... Well, actually, there's a boyfriend here as well. Hi, boyfriend. Okay, so episode 2. A friend of mine who I've actually haven't seen for a while, Cassandra. Hi, welcome.
Hey, hi. Thanks for having me. I hate intros too.
It's the worst, eh?
It's so awkward.
I know. Like, I'm sweating. Am I sweating for days?
I don't know. You don't look it.
Oh, it's hard. Okay, so, well, you're on the show because... I commented on the other day on how good you looked and how happy you were.
Thanks. Yeah.
Like, there's some real different, cool energy about you.
Oh, thank you. It's been when was the last one? A few years, right?
Yeah.
Lots changed. A lot of personal development, a lot of mindset, in a good, healthy relationship. That helps.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, a lot has happened and a lot has changed over the last few years. So
Yeah.
it's been a lot of self-discovery, especially in the last 18 months. So I'm definitely a different version of myself than what I probably was the last time I saw you.
Yeah, it was first year of COVID, I think, when we were in here.
Yeah, that's right. I was going under like a massive like thing because I was prepping for a wedding. And yeah, I was probably like that year and then the year after were probably like the worst 2 years I had ever been mentally.
Yeah, wow, okay.
And then I ended up spending like a good year and a half. Well, the last year and a half I've been really working on myself to get to a point where I feel more content within myself. And I can say I've done that. And
how have you like done that without, you don't have to go into too detail, but what made you go the path that you did or how'd you do it?
Block your ears. I got out of a really toxic relationship.
Yep.
And it was a relationship that completely broke me and it was very emotionally abusive. And I was not just copying it from the person that I was with, but also other people within that circle. So I pretty much had to make the choice and it was either stay in this situation or choose myself. And I was always somebody that was like, no, do or die, stay in it, do what, it doesn't matter about it. I grew up in that kind of like real typical kind of ethnic household. And that was what it was engraved into me. Never find anybody else. This is just it, put up with it. But then I realized that this isn't the life that I wanted. And I decided it's better off to be alone than what it is to be miserable for the rest of my life. And after I walked away, making that decision changed everything for me. It was the first time in my life that I picked myself and everything changed from there. I then met my partner's cousin, Hili, who was introduced to me through a friend. And she has a very unique way of bringing therapy and spirituality together. And it's really up my alley because I'm very woo-woo. And she took me through this whole personal development where it incorporated spiritual healing like Reiki and then it combined it like your NLP plus your therapy and a lot of inner child healing, energy. Like it was I still do it till today. And it just transformed my whole entire life. And it really allowed me to actually build a relationship with myself based on self-respect, self-worth, and everything changed from how I hold myself, the relationship I have with myself, the kind of relationships I do have, and then how I even run my business as well. So it changed everything within my life. I take more care about myself and my energy these days than what I do about worrying about external factors, or at least I try anyway.
So it's interesting because when I first met you some years back now at the cafe in Parramatta, I think it was. Was it?
We're talking years.
Yeah, and I had flowers on the background. It was like pinky. It was like a cool cafe.
Oh yeah, and the social hideout.
That one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's when we first met.
Far out.
Don't go there anymore?
I haven't been, I haven't come out this far out west in a while.
Well, that's when I met you. And I remember you were talking about how before that, you did this weight loss journey and, you know, that's how you got a bit of a name for yourself and you hated the connection to that, to what you were. But when I met you, you still had this go-go drive. How do you compare your current mindset to the one you had then? Or was it a different mindset that you thought you were like confident in yourself and self-worth, or you had a bit of both?
No, I had ego and lack of self-worth. And I was very much running off an idea of the life that I wanted versus the life that I actually had.
Okay.
If that kind of makes sense.
Exactly.
For me, I would have been maybe 23 or 24 when we first met. It was very much like the early years of my 20s. It was very much the early years of my business as well. And at that time, it was very much all about status and all about who I knew, where I was going, the events that we were throwing, the brands that I was working with. And I think it was very much like egocentric me. And I got a lot of my validation from external elements in my life. So it was, you know, the influences that I knew, the brands that I worked with, the people that I knew, the social media, constantly being on social media, the glamour of the PR life, the glamour of makeup and everything like that. And I was out all the time, but my self-worth was so low. I was like drinking a lot every time I went out. I didn't have really great friends in my life as well. It was miserable. It was one of the lowest, those early parts of my 20s and my business, it was some of my lowest moments. So it was a very different kind of confidence, I guess. It was false. This one that I have now is just me naturally. I don't force it. I don't fake it. I just am who I am, and it naturally is within my energy. I still have some parts of myself that have low self-esteem that I am working on still, but the energy that I have now is really based on the fact that these days I just have a good connection and contentment within who I am and what I want for myself. And it's more natural and authentic to what it was back then. Yeah.
That's a great explanation, and that's something that I actually do a lot with myself, and when I coach people through mindset, is this false confidence where it's an insecure arrogance which looks like a confidence, where it's external bullshit versus internal.
100%.
And that self-worth is such a powerful word. Yes, it's been thrown around, but it's when you wake up in the morning, have you already succeeded by the day by being who you are? That's the success in itself, not the external wins, right?
Exactly,
they're cool and they're fun, and they come with when you have those inner self natural confidence that you talk about, which is awesome. Isn't it funny how like people can't truly see that because we mask it so well? And that's the reason why I do a lot of this podcasting and why I've rebranded, is because it's really unlocking that true mask that we hide. It's like the Italian Carnivale of Venice, right?
Yeah.
It's a mask parade. And you know what I'm talking about too. We all have them, right? Sorry, I'm just turning to the boyfriend. Introduce yourself, boyfriend. I'm Paul. Hi, Paul. I know, but we'll get Paul on the next time. But yeah, that's awesome and that's cool. And I don't think a lot of people can front and own up to admitting that they got insecurities and they're scared and they just thrive off me being in a socialite. And you're in this industry more than anyone. How dangerous, because I know how dangerous from my end, but from your end, how dangerous is social media with all your clients dabbing into what you talked about that you had years ago?
Look, I think it's really personal to my clients as well. They all have different relationships to social media and the social world and the PR industry. Some of them just actually don't care about the social aspect of it. They're in it because they just want to get their name out there, their business out there. They want to build their credibility, their authority, their trust, all that kind of stuff. And that glitz and glamour side of it absolutely means nothing to them. I then have others, and I can definitely say I don't have any right now, but I have had some in the past where you could actually see. The best way I can say it is like there have been times where I have worked with people in the past where there was a lot of disingenuous it was very disingenuous with their brand, and you could tell they were very in it just purely for their name getting out there, brand association, and it wasn't necessarily about the problem that they were solving in the world. It wasn't necessarily about their customer, and it was really actually hard to get these people placement because it was either the media journalists could see through their story, or they were difficult, or I myself, more and more learning about them, could see that there were holes in what they were saying. And I can proudly say, like, I don't associate with people like that anymore. And if I and you know, like if it does pop up, I'll have conversations with my clients and be like, okay, what's going on? Where are we at?
Yep.
But it can be dangerous. And I don't think it's even just about anybody that is even in the PR industry. I think it's anybody that's on social media, whether you're like in it because you want to be an influencer, build your own personal brand. I think overall, once you're in it, it can be very, once you're in it and you start getting even more, you start meeting people through it, opportunities come through, it gets addictive.
Yeah.
That dopamine hit that comes with it all, you know, the attention. And I think you have to figure out a way to be able to do this without making it your whole identity.
Yep.
And attaching your self-worth and getting your validation of all of this.
Yep.
And if you do get too carried away in it and you do put all your self-worth and hold all your validation onto social media or anything like that, that's when it gets really, really dangerous. You need to be able to know how to find it within yourself, but still be able to take these opportunities, but know when to walk away and go, I'm happy with how that went, but I'm going to go home to my family who I love, who respect me, and make sure that I'm completely present with them. And that's my priority right now. And be okay with just that.
Yeah.
And know when to close the chapter. If like it's very much like being able to go and be able to disassociate completely and remember who you are at the end of the day and what your values are, what your priorities are in your life, and being able to lean into that. But it can be dangerous. As somebody who's even been in it from the influencer side of things, as well as, you know, branding people and then being in it through the PR social side, it can be dangerous. It's addictive.
Oh yeah, 100. That separating personal and professional is a hard thing.
100%.
I think especially, it's weird because I mean I had a career in sport, and so I had some form of a little bit of attention, right? Cameras. Yeah. Not to claim that I was good. From the age of 15, so you can easily get consumed by it, or you can understand for what it is. Thing for me was the reason why I've never cared about media or social or say Pej is when I was 19 playing in the UK. And again, I don't claim to be a good footballer.
Because you're a good one. Yep.
Well, in England, in those areas, I was, famous, right? Not the rest of England. Going down to the game, I remember walking down the steps and this fan comes up to me and said, "Hey, Pej, do you mind signing this for my husband? He's your favourite player." I'm like, "Yeah, no dramas. Where is he?" And she goes, "He's on his deathbed and this will mean the world to him."
Oh, wow.
So I was literally 19, turning 20, and it hit me and realised, wow, I got this all fucking wrong. This isn't about cars, fame, chicks, going out. This is about changing someone's life by a smile or a hello. So since that day, I've always just looked at it from a point of if you can just inspire someone, and never cared about me. Yeah, cool, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but that changed my life. And maybe if I never had that moment, I don't know, maybe I will be a dickhead seeking attention. I don't know.
Well, you never know. I guess at the end of the day, like that's why things happen to us, right? Where it kind of really grounds you and makes you switch off that egotistic side of things. And there's so many, I think I saw a meme on LinkedIn about it today where it's like, life isn't about money and life isn't about the fast cars. It's not about what's in your bank account or what the materialistic things are. At the end of the day, you can have all the money in the world, but how are you feeling and how are you helping and impacting the lives of other people around you? When you see stuff like that, you can scroll past it and keep moving from it, right? But then when you see it and you actually think about it, you never know. Like you could be doing all it does. You don't even have to have a big following. You can have a following of 100 people, but all it takes is for those 100 people to be able to see your posts, and you could be changing their lives every day without even realizing it.
That's right.
It's the impact of just having community and having a voice, but making sure you're using it the right way at the same time.
That's right. And whatever I share on this podcast or have or will, I've had to deal with it myself first before I share that, because I don't think you should share something through a sympathetic way of asking for a return of, "Oh, you poor thing."
Yeah.
This is a journey we're all on. Everyone has ups and downs. The point of sharing is that you've dealt with and understood that this is part of you. It's not about me saying something that, "Oh, poor Pej." No. Everyone has their story. Yeah. And I was saying this to someone the other day, without getting into too much details. This person went through a horrific moment a couple of years ago, but trying to leverage that now on social to get me sympathy. And I was like, man, you're playing with danger, because that's going to make you worse deep down. And secondly, that's going to phase out because people are going to see through why you're doing it. And
victim mentality.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's a victim mentality. and that's dangerous. But funny story about social money and what makes us happy. Last year, me and my fiance, getting married.
Yeah.
This year.
What?
Yeah.
No way! Oh my god! Congratulations!
September. Yeah, well, for now.
Oh, how exciting!
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't seen you for. Well, I proposed to her. We're deep sea divers, right?
Yeah.
And I proposed to her underwater.
Oh, how cute!
Yeah, I almost stuffed the whole thing up, but
why?
Well, I went to speak to graphic designers about getting things printed out, right?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, cool. How deep are you going? So about 20, 30 meters low. And so, with the pressure, it's going to run ink. I'm like, shit. So I thought, okay, so all I'm going to do is signals when I'm down there. So I spoke to the people.
Yeah.
It was in Mexico. And I said to the sorry?
Even better, Mexico. Like, wow.
The water's, that's like crystal clear.
Yeah.
Eyes could see. And I spoke to dive site and said, where can I propose? I said, look, we'll give you signal. Do it there. So cool. We get to the bottom of the ocean and one of the divers points to both of us like this. Now, when a diver does that, it means you have to both be on your knees because they're going to show you something. So I'm like, oh, fuck, she's on her knees. I'm on her knees. Like traditional, she's on her knees. So I'm like, do I get on one knee? Do I stay on both knees?
Yeah.
So anyway, I pull out this ring and I go like this and she goes like that.
Oh.
And then I'm like, and then we're looking, they're all filming and she's looking and I went to take off to speak. I'm like, I can't speak. And I'm like, almost like forcing this ring on her. And then she nods like that. So I turn and go, okay, cool. So we're diving for the next hour. And I'm thinking, does she look happy? She looks happy. I don't know.
Oh, no.
So, and I still don't know. So an hour's passed. My air runs out. So I go up first. She's got better breathing than me. So I'm up floating in the ocean waiting for the boat to pick me up with another instructor. And he goes, how do you feel? I'm like, well, I don't know. Like technically I still don't know.
You're still waiting.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm on the boat now and she gets out and I said, hey, just to confirm, did you say yes? And she goes, I think so.
Oh,
that was her answer. Like, what do you mean? She goes, where's the ring? I'm like, no, we'll get the proper ring back home because I didn't want to lose a proper ring in the ocean.
Yeah, fair, smart.
And she goes, I thought you were showing me a piece of metal on the floor when I went like that.
Oh.
So it's cute and charming.
That is cute.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, yeah. And then one of the divers that got out had a whiteboard marker and I'm like, idiot. All I had to do was speak to the dive shop. That's how stupid I was. See? Stupid but smart.
You got there at the end.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. So long story short, we're getting married in September, which is awesome. Yeah.
Congrats.
But the story of that is when we're in the Philippines, I'm talking so fast. In the Philippines, it's contrast. You got beautiful island, and then you've got poverty, right? And it's sad. But one thing that caught my eye was seeing these 5 kids play with sticks and branches and having the time of their lives. And I said to my partner, do we have to be poor to remember what it's like without technology and just be in the moment?
It's a really good point.
It was crazy that there's no technology for them. They were happy playing sticks. And yeah, I'm a bit older than you, but me, when I was a child, like you could create a game out of nothing. Yeah. And that was sad to see that people had to be poor to realize to be in the moment because everyone's so caught up in superficial shit.
Well, it's true. I mean, even then, like you remember that when you're there, but then when you come back and you go back into things, you're so much, you're back into it. Like we have so much around us here that it's so hard to also forget once you've seen a moment like that, like to hold on to that.
Yeah.
But we live in a very privileged society. And I think to be present is, or to even learn how to be present is, if you have that skill, like it's the most powerful skill in the world that you could possibly ever have, because we live in such, especially Sydney, it's so fast paced. It's hustle mode. No one talks to each other. Everyone's in their own headspace, in their own zone, that the simple things in life no longer exist for us. And, you know, I say this as somebody who should probably listen to what I'm saying, but like, to be able to be present and to just have fun, whether you're with family out of an event and just being completely there and, you know, sitting with each other, or even just being at a coffee shop with a friend and actually listening to what they're saying without worrying about if someone's going to text you back, or, you know, if your plans after this are going ahead, or even overthinking something that they've said. Just to be there and enjoy your time with somebody, because time is the one thing that you never, ever get back. It's 100%. So precious. And it's actually the most simple things in our lives that bring the most amount of joy.
Yep.